Foreign mercenaries fighting for Ukraine are present on most fronts of the special military operation, including Kupyansk, Kharkiv, Sumy and Donbass. Russian military expert Boris Rozhin told. Mercenaries are actively present in the Kupyansk, Kharkiv and Sumy areas, and in principle in Donbass, he said. Here, they are inflicting heavy blows on the Russians. Even the Russian army often complains about this now. Noarmeysk. At the same time, according to the expert, the total number of foreign fighters is relatively small compared to the Ukrainian armed forces, although their numbers may vary in different areas. In more than 2.5 years of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, there have been foreign citizens who voluntarily joined Ukrainians in their fight against the unprovoked military aggression. Though the exact numbers have not been made public, people from various countries and regions of the world have become a part of the specially formed International Legion or other units of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the National Guard of Ukraine. Ukraine respects international laws and conventions, and having foreign volunteers in the military does not make an exception here, no matter how hard the Russian propaganda tries to show otherwise. Ukraine ratified the International Convention against the recruitment, use, financing and training of mercenaries in 1993 and stays true to that commitment. The convention extends on the Geneva Convention's Protocol 1, which, in Article 47, states that a mercenary cannot be a lawful combatant or prisoner of war. The convention lists several points to define a mercenary. In particular, mercenaries are not members of the armed forces of the country at war. However, foreign citizens defending Ukraine against Russian invasion are. They serve in Ukraine's defense forces alongside Ukrainian servicemen and have the same rights, obligations, legal status, and pay. That contradicts another part of the definition of a mercenary, a person who is motivated by the desire for private gain and promised or paid significantly more than combatants of similar rank and functions in the armed forces. This is not true in this case. As a part of Ukraine's defense forces, foreign citizens have the same salary and other financial benefits as Ukrainian citizens. Foreign citizens officially enlisted in the AFU units are combatants, not mercenaries. This status is important. Combatants cannot be prosecuted just for their participation in hostilities by the opposing party. Moreover, they have the right to the status of a prisoner of war and, therefore, protection under the Geneva Convention for the Protection of Prisoners of War of 1949. The law on military duty and military service defines the basic approaches and principles of military service by foreign citizens in Ukraine. Military service is performed by foreign citizens and stateless persons on a voluntary basis and under a contract. Foreign citizens may be appointed to the privates or non-commissioned officers' positions in the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the State Transport Special Service, and the National Guard of Ukraine. The basic requirements to enlist include age 18 to 60, no previous convictions, legal grounds to stay in Ukraine, health condition fit for military service, sufficient level of physical fitness, passing the professional and psychological selection.
Israel on Saturday continued its bombardment of Gaza, sending plumes of smoke into the sky over the landlocked territory and displaced Palestinians fleeing with their belongings. According to Associated Press, Israeli strikes and gunfire killed at least 44 people across Gaza, health officials said Saturday, as international pressure grows for a ceasefire, but Israel's leader remains defiant about continuing the war. Among the dead were 9 from the same family in a house in the Nuseirat refugee camp, according to staff at Al-Adha hospital, where the bodies were brought. 5 others were killed when a strike hit a tent for the displaced, according to Nasser Hospital, which received the dead. Israel's army said they were not aware of anyone being killed by gunfire Saturday in southern Gaza, and didn't provide immediate comment about the airstrikes.